UI7 Newsbreak, find out why the Department of Justice is suing Ferguson, Missouri.
And learn how investigators are dealing with the Flint water crisis.
We also have news on the Black History Month that's been celebrated in the White House. Your UI7 Newsbreak starts right now.
From the Richmond Journalism Teaching Studio at the University of Illinois campus, this is your UI7 Newsbreak, your U of I news source.
Hello, I'm Willie O'Neill.
And I'm Caitlin McClure. U.S. Attorney General Loretta Lynch has had enough with officials in Ferguson, Missouri. The U.S. Department of Justice has filed a civil lawsuit against the city.
The federal government and Ferguson have been negotiating about the reform for months. The Department of Justice says Ferguson law enforcement and court practices violate the rights of citizens. These violations include unnecessary force, stops, and arrests. It also includes the targeting of African Americans. However, for Ferguson City Council, the agreement was less than perfect. They voted to add 7 amendments to the deal, saying that it would be too expensive for the city. The Department of Justice responded with a lawsuit the next day. Lynch says there is no price for Constitution and policing. She says the federal government paid attention to the city's finances throughout the negotiation process, and that this reform is decades overdue.
Investigators in Flint, Michigan are cracking down on who's to blame for the ongoing water crisis, and they're doing it on their own terms. Andrew Arena and Ellis Stafford are two members of the team handpicked by Michigan's state attorney. The two investigators say it is important to work independently of state agencies. This means the investigation could result in some arrests. Arena previously worked as an FBI special agent. He promises Flint citizens that by the end of it all, they will get a fair evaluation. Stafford is a Flint native who served as a Marine and a Michigan State Police inspector. His personal ties fuel his dedication to the case. The investigators say that the process will be thorough and tedious. Arena and Stafford are working on setting up an anonymous tip line for people with info on the crisis. To be First Lady Obama is to both be history and celebrate it through art. Michelle Obama hosted an all-day dance workshop in honor of Black History Month. Then, young girls from the D.C. area began to dance across the White House floor. Their goal was to tell a story about African American history, while the workshop highlighted Black women's contributions to dance. Performing alongside them was Debbie Allen, an actress and famous choreographer. The White House's theme this year for Black History Month is honoring the past while celebrating the present. 7 years of living African American history.
Allen Resident Hall welcomed Guy Thorne to UIUC as a part of his guest and resident program. The Jamaican African dancer and choreographer treated students to a multicultural and socially conscious performance. On the dance floor, Thorne made a point to show that his art comes from a variety of influences. The show featured a combination of modern, folk, ballad, and Caribbean styling. He didn't shy from using the platform to address social justice. Thorne used movement, words, and music to discuss topics like police brutality and economic struggle. At the end of his showcase, he invited the audience questions. The dialogue allowed students to learn more about the heritage and career. Thorne traveled from New York to live in the hall for 5 days. During his stay, gave workshops and lectures ranging from meditation to Jamaican fume.
The College of Fine and Applied Arts and Center for South Asian and Middle Eastern Studies are bringing Indian dance and music to the U of I. Katak dancers and musicians are visiting the U of I this week for a concert at Smith Hall on Tuesday. But before the concert, some students and families learned the historic Indian dance at McKinley Presbyterian Church. Participants learned step by step with the help of Jinwan from the Faradican Music and Dance Group. The event brought children, parents, and students together to enjoy classical Indian dance, music, and culture.
That's all the time we have for today.
Thank you for tuning in to UI7 Newsbreak. Have a great day.
Wow.